Welcome again. It's the Hot Spot. We are back to talk Manchester United, guys. It's almost inevitable now. When you talk Manchester United, you've got to talk about the boss, ERIK Ten Hag, and everything he's doing. I've not seen a manager be criticized for every decision he has made in the past a couple of months than ERIK Ten Hag. I think the substitutions, the way he handles players, the way he has dealt with the transfers, everything has been criticized, and that is what you expect if you join the biggest football club in the world. That's why it's just always a pleasure and an honor for me to be talking about it. So subscribe to the Hotspot and let's get proper into it. Now, guys, I was here a couple of weeks ago and I was telling you about how I thought Erik Ten Hag has got certain weaknesses that were glaring, and I spoke about the one weakness, or the ruthlessness, which to some, again, depending on how you look at it, it could be a positive he has, but maybe it could be the weakness that is seeing him lose the dressing room, according to the reports that are coming through from the UK. Apparently, Erik Ten Hag is failing to get players to respond to him. Players are coming out and they are clearly not happy with the way he deals with situations involving mistakes perhaps made by players during training. And the funny thing is, whereas the fans might feel like Ten Hag is being ruthless and we need it, even the legends of the club do not exactly support some of the things he has done. The, no footballer, I think, or former footballer would support a fellow footballer being criticized in public. I think they know the pressure of playing at that level. They know what every player would want to put in, probably what Jadon Sancho would obviously want to put in to achieve. But even if he's not putting in enough, many players will tell you it is not exactly mature of a manager to go out there in public and put it all out there to try and attack the player or question the player and their attitude. So that's why, again, whereas many of the fans are saying Sancho has not been doing enough, he has got to be called out. People who are closer to football will tell you they feel Ten Hag did not manage that right. But it's not the first time. We saw how we handled Cristiano Ronaldo, and I've been consistent telling you I don't think that looked good on Ten Hag and on Manchester United as an institution. The way they handled Cristiano Ronaldo, arguably the greatest United player or one of the greatest United players of all time, arguably. You don't treat them like that for whichever reason. You can fall out with him, but do it behind closed doors with no media. Don't publicize that. Don't let things. But during the times of Ten Hag, to be honest, one thing too many have been leaking, about Man United. A lot of things have been leaking in terms of what's going on in the dressing room. That shows that the team is not together. I'm sure a lot of things happen in Arsenal, in Man City. These things don't come out the way things come out from United. It shows you that Ten Hag is not in control. Probably the staff are not exactly happy with some of the things he has done and the way he has treated these players. So for me, I think it is high time we again start scrutinizing him to see what he has. And of course, I heard Zlatan Ibrahimovic coming out to sort of defend him, saying that the fact that he came from a small club like Ajax, he needs time to learn how to manage players in a big club because those are bigger stars and all. And he can only learn on the job. That's how you earn experience. So you can give him that benefit because it makes sense. But I think some of the errors he's made are glaring for everyone to see that even him, even without experience, you don't need experience to know that you don't treat David De Gea the way they treated him. You don't do that. You don't treat one of a guy who has been your number one for the past decade, won titles, been there, saving you games day in and day out. You treat them like that after treating Ronaldo the way you did. It shows you that it speaks volumes about him. I mean, and in the Premier League, the thing is with these big clubs, if you don't have the dressing room, you have nothing, you have no direction, you're not going anywhere. I'm seeing Harry Maguire coming out, also talking about, trying to justify his performances and how he did perform, so well for some time, his good run, his record when he has played and all, his winning record. And it shows that even Maguire, whereas he's trying to be mature and professional, he's sending a message to the manager, talking about how everyone else is supporting him, David Beckham. He's not talking about the manager. He clearly, the mature post Maguire, put up there when he was stripped of the captaincy. Yes, Maguire perhaps did not deserve to wear the armband of Manchester United, and maybe it's a difficult decision. It was a difficult decision to make, but was it perhaps 100% the right thing to do the way it was done? Wasn't it a little humiliating for a player who was, I think he had a record at some point for going about 13 games without conceding a goal, clean sheets when he was playing. So all those things point to Erik Ten Hag. And guys, it is now in this international break that we've got to really sit down and settle and talk about some of these weaknesses that he has got, but also talk about at what cost, how much they would cost us. And one can say that maybe Ten Hag is also, dealing with a lot, because many have felt like everyone has left everything to Erik Ten Hag. You know that he was the one picking up calls to call the Onanas, the Amrabats, the Rasmus Højlunds of this world during the transfers, convincing them to wait for him. He was doing more of the work of John Mata and these guys who should be doing this transfer business, Richard Arnold and John Mata. So, but also even the Glazers, perhaps they no longer feel at home at Man United. They seem to be disinterested. So it, some can say he's being that ruthless and being that because of the pressure, the situation of the club, that everything has been left to him. He's the HR, he's the manager, he's the coach, he's the CEO, he's the face of the club, he's the PR, he's the one talking and every time. So you even see the guy is growing older, guys. I feel like Ten Hag has grown 15 years older in the 2 years he has been at United. Less than 2 years. He has grown 5 years older. So it shows you the stress. Perhaps maybe that is part of the reasons why he's acting the way he is. But the truth is, we've got to question some of his decisions and the way he has handled certain situations. But of course, as we question him, we'll of course not forget to give him credit for a few things that have looked positive when he's been there. But those are not for now. Let's wait and see whether we'll capitalize on our good, performance, decent performance in that last game when we come back from the international break. Speaking of the break, our players are busy. I saw, an image of Diogo Dalot with his probably idol, Cristiano Ronaldo. You remember Cristiano Ronaldo spoke highly about him when he was giving his, biting expose of the rot at United to Piers Morgan. He spoke highly about Diogo Dalot, him being one of the few rare hard workers at United from a whole bunch of nobody young kids who earned crazy wages. But we've seen that Dalot has been one of the, I think, the few players who have been improving at United. You would see that playing on the left and doing it, decently well there, playing on the right. He has tried to improve, but you see the humility of a hard worker. That's what Cristiano Ronaldo saw. But they were chilling in the Portugal camp. Ronaldo is still playing for Portugal. In case you didn't know, he's not about to stop. He's still there, still hungry as ever, trying to get it. Now, guys, there is a person who keeps asking me about Amad Diallo. Now, there is positivity because he has dropped a return update. I thought of himself as if returning back to training. That is Amad Diallo, the little winger who many have felt has not been given enough opportunities. Of course, he got injured during preseason, but you can debate on whether him or Pelistri is a better footballer. But the fact is, he's one player we certainly need to give a chance when he's fully fit. So for me, Diallo returning, if Kobe Maino returns as well, there could be positivity if Erik Ten Hag tries to keep that house, the dressing room, in order. Because if it goes, everything we've built will be dismantled, go down crashing like dominoes. So we have got to hold our own together. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. Let me know what you think. Is Erik Ten Hag a little too much? Should he calm down a little? Is his man management questionable? What do you think? Is that even a problem? Hotspot, subscribe. I'll catch you later, fam.